Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. The next question stands in the name of the Honorable Member for Ashiaman.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when construction of the Ashiaman Main Road will be completed. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Ashiaman Town is the capital of Ashiaman Municipality of the Greater Accra region. The Ashiaman Main Road is classified as a major arterial by Department of Urban Roads, DUR. It starts from Ashiaman roundabout on the Akosombo Road and ends at Ashiaman underpass of the Accra-Tema motorway. It has been completed to asphaltic banda level and in good surface condition. The current program is that the contract for the emergency reconstruction of Ashiaman Main Road, which is 6 kilometers, was awarded on 22nd August 2014. Works commenced on 8th September 2014 for completion on 7th September 2016. The completion date was extended to 7th June 2017, which has since elapsed. The contractor has demobilized from site since December 2016 as a result of the employer's undue delay in paying for works done. Works completed to date include the following. 1. Construction of 4.1 kilometers of asphaltic banda on a dual carriage. 2. Construction of all curbs. 3. Construction of drainage, slab, and other concrete works. Physical progress at the moment is 95%. 4. Construction of 5 number lay-by. 5. Installation of 4 traffic lights, and physical progress of that is 90%. 6. Installation of street lights. Physical progress as at now is 100%. And 7. Paving of walkways and median, which is currently at 65% physical progress. Mr. Speaker, the progress of works is projected at 85% physical completion. The outstanding works include wearing course and other pavement works, paving of walkways and median works, additional traffic lights, and construction of the remaining lay-bys. The project is funded from the Consolidated Fund. The future program is that the completion of the project depends on the employer's ability to pay for the work done. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any follow-up? Otherwise, the Honourable Member for Ashiaman may continue with question 297.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please, I have a follow-up question to the previous.
You may continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Has the government paid the contractor for work done so far? And if yes, how much is paid and how much is in arrears? Mr. Minister, thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the original contract price was 33,686.45 Ghana cedis. but a variation order was issued to the project to expand the scope of works, and that brought in an additional cost. The revised contract price therefore rose to 102,486,332 Ghana cedis, 72 pesos. Amount certified to date is 55,551,989 Ghana cedis, 1 pesos. The amount certified means that it's backed up by interim payment certificate, RPCs. And the amount paid to date is 39,637,890 Ghana cedis, 73 pesos. Unpaid amount, therefore, stands at 15,914,098 Ghana cedis, 28 pesos. And the funding source is the consolidated fund. I thank you.
Honorable, you may proceed with your next question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please, I want to know from the minister, when does the minister envisage funds to be available to pay for the remaining work? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, please ask your question and leave this one for the Minister of Finance. Question star 298.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's 297. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Roads and Highways when works on the Sakumono to Lashibi through Klago to Ashiaman Road will be completed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are two major road projects being executed on the section from Lashibi through Grakon to Ashiaman. One, and I'm dealing with dualization of Grakon, Ashiaman underpass through Lashibi to Sakumono traffic light, covering a distance of 6 kilometers. And the background to this project is that, Mr. Speaker, the dualization of Kragon, Ashiaman underpass through Lashibi to Sakumono traffic light, covering a distance of 6 kilometers, as aforementioned, is a variation on the contract under emergency reconstruction of Ashiaman Main Road. The expected completion date of the works was on 7 June 2017, which has since elapsed. The current program is that the contractor has demobilized from the site since December 2016 as a result of the employer's undue delay in paying for work done. The works completed to date include the following. 1. Construction of 5.5 kilometers of the western bound lane, Ashiaman underpass towards Sakumono to asphaltic banda level. 2. Construction of 3.5 kilometers of the eastern bound lane to asphaltic banda level. 3, construction of curbs, which is 70% done. And 4, laying of 2 kilometers of crushed rock base. The progress of work is projected at 56% physical completion. The project is funded from the Consolidated Fund. The future of this project is that the completion of the project depends on the employer's ability to pay for the work done. B, and that is dealing with the second part, emergency improvement of Old Adan Road, that is from Kragong to Lashibi Road. The background is that the perennial flooding of the banks of the Mamahuma River due to the inadequate capacity of the existing culvert on the Kragong-Lashibi Road renders the section of the road unmotorable, especially during rains. Currently, Mr. Speaker, the contract for the construction of a bridge over the Mahahuma River on Kragong-Lashibi Road was awarded on 29 September 2014. Works commenced on 6 October 2014 for completion on 5 October 2015. The completion date was extended to 5 October 2016, which has since elapsed. The contractor demobilized from site in October 2016 as a result of the employer's undue delay in paying for work done. The physical progress of work is projected at 46% physical completion. The piers and abutments have been completed. The outstanding works are mainly the superstructure. The project is funded from the Consolidated Fund. Mr. Speaker, going into the future, the completion of the project depends on the employer's ability to pay for the work done. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Minister, has any budgetary allocation been made for this project? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the answer is in the affirmative, since it is an ongoing project. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any further question, Honorable?
So, Right Honorable Speaker, which temporary measures are being taken to make the uncompleted section of the road motorable? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, since it's an ongoing project, the contractor is on site and is subjected to the normal maintenance. Where possible, grading and upgrading will continue to make the place and the entire stretch motorable. I can assure you. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister for Public Procurement, you may please take the appropriate seat. Star 305. In the name of the Honorable Member for Ashiaman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister responsible for public procurement whether, apart from the Vocacom company, any other company bid for the Ghana Post GPS. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my office received on the 9th of March 2018 notice of a question that has been filed through the clerk, which was dated, Mr. Speaker, the emphasis, which was dated 8th of March, which was filed by the Honourable Member. Mr. Speaker, my office does not undertake procurement for any ministry. Every ministry is mandated to procure in accordance with the Public Procurement Act, Act 663. The Ministry of Communication is an entity competent to undertake its own procurement. Hence, the question be directed to the Ministry of Communication. I thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the minister. Is she the minister responsible for public procurement or the minister responsible for presidential procurement?
Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am a Minister of State. I don't have a ministry. I am the Minister of State in charge of procurement at the Presidency. Mr. Speaker, during my vetting, and even before my vetting, there was a hula baloo as to the existence of the Public Procurement Authority already and why my office, at my vetting and His Excellency also in an interview, assured Ghanaians that he is not duplicating responsibilities and that my office is only advisory to advise him on policies and strategies of government on public procurement matters. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you. Interesting. Can the minister confirm?
Honourable Member, you've been directed as to the appropriate place for any further questions. You may do so if you so desire. Question *322. Question *322. The Honourable Minister says she is not responsible for that area, and has directed where any question specifically related to that which has been put on the paper should be directed. Honourable Member, direct so accordingly. *322. The Honourable Member for Ashiaman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I ask this question,
Order.
I want to draw your attention.
Sometimes an honourable member may decide to stretch. Let business continue. Yes,
Mr.
Honourable.
Speaker, before I ask question *322, I want to draw your attention to the fact that you have appropriately admitted this question. Is it in effect saying that you have admitted the wrong?
Honourable Member. Well, from what you are saying, I rule that the question has been wrongly admitted. Therefore, that will end question time. Honourable, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The last question.
Honourable Minister.
I rise to ask the minister responsible for public procurement. What procurement method was used by Maslog in awarding contract worth
Honourable.
28.8?
Honourable. Then the next time, you rather proceed with the business I've directed rather than going back and making questions, all right? Now you may ask your question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I apologize for that.
And if you go back again, then you will sit. *322.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister responsible for public procurement what procurement method was used by Maslog in awarding contract worth 28.8 million to Destro Impers to supply 1,800 vehicles. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my office received notice of a question through the clerk on the 8th of March, which was filed by the honourable member. Mr. Speaker, per the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, and Act 914 as amended, Public Procurement Authority, which is the PPA, is the regulatory body charged with the mandate of granting approvals and ensuring compliance with all relevant procurement rules and processes. The PPA, as an agency legally placed under the Ministry of Finance. Mr. Speaker, per the definition section of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, and Act 914 as amended, a minister is defined. Mr. Speaker, a minister means the minister responsible for finance. Mr. Speaker, I take it again. Minister is defined as minister means minister responsible for finance. Hence, in accordance with our standing orders, Order 62 of this House, Mr. Speaker, the question ought to be directed to the Ministry of Finance. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe
the minister has been clear as to where this question can be directed.